So we had a men's retreat over the weekend, and it's always very interesting to talk to men. It's always very interesting for me, actually, as a sort of a man, to speak to younger men about how things have changed, how things are different now. So the issue of dating and that sort of thing came up, and I just remember, my memory of dating is it's a different world to what exists now today. So I remember a huge part of dating so we're talking back in the kind of very late 90s, the end of the 90s, a huge part of dating back in the day was actually a thing called waiting, right? So you'd wait for the person after work, or you'd wait for the person after their lectures, or they'd be getting ready, and you'd have to wait, and we had to do a lot of waiting, trying to combine train timetables. Why was there so much waiting? Because there were no phones. It was just the time when mobiles were just coming in, but they were still very expensive. Mobile calls were expensive, texts were 10p, and you'd rip through your credit. So you had to just kind of spend a lot of time waiting for the person. And it's a very interesting thing, the whole idea of waiting, because it builds expectation, it builds a kind of excitement, it builds a kind of a desire, a kind of a longing for the other person. It's actually a good thing. It's a good thing when you're looking forward to meeting this person, and you're kind of counting down the minutes, and will it be 5 minutes, or, well, she's putting the makeup on, so it could be another 3 hours, I suppose, but either way, it'll all be worth it, and it's just the expectation, the feeling, the waiting. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Teaches us patience, teaches us, it asks us the question: is this thing, this person, this event, this night out, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Now, when I compare that to today, one of the guys was telling me, he said, obviously COVID hasn't helped, but even before COVID, there were plenty of dating apps out there now. So swipe left and swipe right for those that you like. You see a person's profile, person's picture, and which is good? Swipe, I don't know which way is good. It doesn't matter. Swipe one way for accept, swipe one way for reject. The other way. So you're swiping through all these people. And then the way he phrased it was very interesting, because he said, these days, it's not about going out with people anymore. How did he say? You skip all that preliminary preparation and just go straight to the intimate part of things. I just thought, wow, that's really awful. That is absolutely horrific. That is really terrible. That is really terrible. This season, if you will, of expectancy and waiting is gone. And then we just kind of have signed, sealed, and delivered what we thought we wanted, but which ends up being unfulfilling, or just leaving a greater hole in our hearts and a greater desire for something else to fill that longing. But why does that never seem to arrive either? So it's like trying to satisfy hunger. When you're absolutely starving for food and someone gives you a drink of water. Thank you, that's nice, but I'm actually hungry, not thirsty. So it's not really satisfying the problem here. It just cools down the stomach a little. It fools me into thinking I have eaten, but I haven't actually eaten at all. So when you need food, when it's food you need, it's food you need. So when we have a longing in our heart for something deeper, for something meaningful, for something that lasts, then nothing else is going to satisfy that. So today we have two wonderful, prayerful people, Simeon and Anna, who have been waiting for decades for the coming of the Lord. I have just such admiration for them, because in a way I'm not sure if they even knew what they were expecting. What does it mean to wait for the Lord? For them, did they know God was going to come incarnate? No one knew. No one was expecting that. They were waiting for the Lord, but how exactly he was going to come, or when, or even how this was going to be possible, no one really knew. They were just waiting for a Messiah. Okay. And then he appears in this completely unexpected form, as a baby. We're awaiting probably a warrior to set us free from Rome and Roman occupation. This is nice. I hope you feed him well. I hope he grows up to be big and strong, and another Goliath killer. That's what we need. But they saw something much, much, much deeper. Like the words of Simeon they're just profound. Now, Master. So he's speaking to God. Now, Master, you can let your servant go in peace. So what he's saying is, now, Master, you can let me die. Because just as you promised, my eyes have seen the salvation which you have prepared for all the nations to see. What salvation? He saw a baby. He saw a scene, something like this, really cute. But it's only with eyes of faith. Only with eyes of faith you see salvation in this. Because with just merely human eyes, you see a nice little couple, they're prayerful, they're pure and cute and all that, but only with eyes of faith, this reveals something completely different. And why? Because they had waited. Waited in prayer. Waited in fidelity. Year after year after year. So every year, even though, as I say, they didn't know what they were waiting for, that waiting was actually deepening their faith. Every single day they were praying. And so then, when they see this it's a veiled scene. It's a scene of incredible beauty and purity and power, but it is veiled because on the outside, externally, there's nothing hugely special here. Plenty of children came after 40 days to be purified in the temple. It happened all the time. And as you all know, every baby they're identical. They're all exactly the same. They're all cute and do this. Okay, some babies are cuter. I don't know, whatever I'm supposed to say. But it looks nice, but they saw something, because they had eyes of faith, they saw something completely different. They saw hope. They saw, listen to the words. My eyes have seen the salvation which you have prepared for all the nations to see. That's just, it's a beautiful reality, but it's incredible that he could see that in the baby Jesus. Even as the child's father and mother stood there wondering at the things that were being said about him. I wonder what they were wondering, actually. I wonder, because Our Lady did know a lot of what was going on. She knew that she had conceived by the Holy Spirit. She knew that she knew that Jesus was the Son of God. The angel Gabriel had told her. But maybe she was wondering, how did you know that? I know that, but I didn't tell you. How did you know that? See, that's just the eyes of faith. It's just incredible. So, just to fast forward, back to ourselves. So often in our faith, we must wait. And I think for probably all of us, we don't like it. Waiting is difficult. Waiting is hard. And waiting is it's almost like a dangerous place to be at times, because waiting, this season of waiting is a very active playground for the enemy. Right? Because when you're waiting, then the little voices come. What are you waiting for? Better days. I'm waiting for God. I'm waiting for heaven. I'm waiting for healing. I'm waiting for future husband, future wife, whatever it may be. I'm waiting for children. All right. You sure God listens? I don't think he does. Nothing has changed. You prayed yesterday with no difference. You've been praying for the last year. Nothing has changed. You sure? Sure you're on the right track? It's this place of waiting. It's a battleground. It's a battleground of faith, and I'm sure it was exactly the same for Simeon and Anna as they were waiting for the Lord. I'm sure those age-old, well-tried and tested satanic voices were there too. What are you waiting for? You sure you should be still here? You should go and live life. Go and have fun. You've done your time. You've prayed now sufficiently. You're a good person. Go off now and live life a little. So for you and I today, we are waiting for something. And maybe, if I can be completely honest, I think we are waiting for a great renewal in the church. If you will. I think he's arranging all sorts of good people and putting them into good places, and I think he's arranging things for a renewal in the church. And we're waiting for this, we're praying for this, we're hoping for this, we're offering up our daily lives, our daily sufferings for this. When will it come? I don't know exactly. But that's not my job. I'm not head strategist here. I'm not even a general. I'm just a pawn. You know? So my job is to be where the Lord puts me for as long as he leaves me there. And that's it. And I wait there until I'm moved. I'm not saying he's going to move me from here, Holy Family, but my job, I mean more kind of spiritual, like in my spiritual life, I'm supposed to be where he puts me until he moves me. And wait there patiently. Serve where the Lord has put me until he moves me. And then we can experience that kind of same excitement that we maybe did in the past or would have if we had had the opportunity to wait for someone who you love. And that longing, that expectation, and then the fulfillment. When they arrive and the doors open and the doves fly out and she walks. You know? And all that, like the fulfillment of that waiting, and then you're like, it was worth it. Look at this. Wow. And so it should be for each one of us. We wait, and when that period of waiting is over, and whatever we were waiting for, praying for, has been fulfilled, I think in that moment, we look back, only then we can really see how this period of waiting helped us. How it helped us to grow, how it helped us grow in faith, patience, how it helped us to trust, how it helped us to let go of control, how it helped us to really say, Lord, I don't have the full picture here, I don't have the full plan, I don't know, but I trust you. I trust you with my future. I trust you with my past. I trust you with my weaknesses. And I trust you with even the family that you haven't trusted to me or the mission you haven't trusted to me. I trust you. But that really grows in these periods of patience, these periods of waiting. So when the Lord seems slow to act, he is still acting. He's teaching us. He's teaching us in the silence. He's teaching us in these periods of waiting. And when that waiting is fulfilled, we won't regret a single minute that we have spent in prayer. We won't regret a single minute that we have spent even asking ourselves or begging the Lord for the grace we need to get through today. The Lord has a plan. And his plan is a plan of light, a plan of joy, a plan of healing. So we ask today for that grace, that trust to hold on, even when it seems that the Lord is absent, and that we might rejoice on the day when that plan is revealed and fulfilled in each one of us. Amen.